Greetings, my name is Grin, and this is my beard. So, what crumbs can I pull out of my beard today to talk about? Today, I was thinking about the way people misunderstand or misrepresent things or take things at face value or believe things that just may not be real, but why not? Why should you have any reason to not believe it? Now, in this case, it comes from watching Hank's channel, where he had a video talking about Elon Musk and his tweets, where he vetted or fact checked six of his tweets within a 24-hour period, and they were all wrong, or not wrong, but how to explain it? He was saying something that out of context seemed like it might be right, but when taken in full context or with knowing the source of what he was talking about, you realize that no, it's completely not. It's not that. That's not what the thing that he's posting is saying. And it is basically Elon Musk would post a repost of something or like a picture of something, and then he would have his word on it, like, oh, I can't believe this is happening or whatnot. So it's not like he's lying. He's just saying that he believes these things that are not true and sharing that with everybody. And this is, in my opinion, very dangerous and negligent, because as a billionaire philanthropist playboy, like he's he's the Iron Man of reality. He has a responsibility to uh, not use his platform to mislead people or to guide people in an untruthful way. Whether or not that's true, he doesn't really have any responsibility to anything. But the fact that people believe that he is believable or what he says is right is, it's a given. They're gonna. He's super rich. He's super successful. Apparently, he's super smart. So, why wouldn't you believe something that he says? And why wouldn't you mirror his uh, thoughts in some way? Because if it's successful for him, then maybe it would be successful for us, for normal people like me who doesn't have a lot of money and influence and power and stuff. So yeah, I would like to go through some of the tweets that Hank pulled up, but I'll let you watch the video. It's in the description if you want to see it. Hopefully, if at any time my kids watch this, you can see what I'm talking about. That hopefully the video will still be around. Um, I'm sure will. Hank is probably never going to go anywhere. Anyways, what I want to talk about, what the crumb that was in my beard about this, is how people just flatly accept things that are without any understanding of it, or without making sure that it's true or correct. They'll just accept facts that they believe or want to believe. And, and this my family in the United States, uh, I used to use Facebook a lot, and now I only use Facebook to keep up with people in the states that I know, and just if I'm want to talk to them or something like that, or know what's going on. Sometimes I'll use it for people here, but I don't really post a lot on Facebook. There was a time when I would get lots of uh, feed posts in my feed from my family, and a lot of those posts were just not real things. Like, they would be saying stuff that just wasn't true, and then I would go and I would tell them, this isn't true. The actual fact is this. Here's the source that you can look for yourself. And they would always say, "Oh, okay, that I see that," but they would never change or delete their post. or even acknowledge that there was anything wrong with the post. So it's like, okay, they'll say to my face, "Oh yeah, I see now. Yeah, okay, maybe I made a mistake," but they won't change their behavior and they would continue to do it. So I don't do that anymore. I don't try to fact check or whatnot my family. I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to be difficult to them or trying to be contrarian to them or arguing with them or anything like that. I wanted them to hopefully my hope was that they would see that I'm trying to help. If you continue to post untrue, not correct, or misinterpreted facts, then at some point in time, people are going to realize that, and they're just not going to listen to you. They're going to call you stupid and just ignore you. But that's neither here nor there. They don't really care about that. They just care about continuing their opinion or their thought process and spreading it. It's like a virus. This idea that I want something to be true, so I will post whatever I can to uh, boost or to improve my position for others to see, uh, to propagate that information that is based on my feeling of how I want it to be or how I feel that it is. I it's interesting. I don't know how to explain it better than that. And what to do about it. I have no idea. I mean, I don't want I love my family. I don't want them to feel like I feel like they're doing something bad or wrong or that I think less of them. It doesn't matter what they do, I'll still love them. I just might ignore them, and that's basically what I did. I put them on basically ignore list. It wouldn't Facebook no longer sends me their posts. So if I want to see what they're doing or saying, I have to actually go to their page and check up on it, which is great because most of the stuff that they repost is uh, missing some context or whatnot. And yeah, I get it. So you don't have enough time to do your own research. They just see something and they're like, oh well, that must be true. It came from this source and I believe that source, so I'll just repost it. So most people aren't going to be like, is that really true? Especially if it's coming from a source that you personally feel is trustworthy. Uh, Even if, yeah, if you feel they're trustworthy, so why should you have to put in the effort to try to figure out whether or not it's true? So, and I am guilty of doing that as well. However, when I do make a mistake, I have retracted my mistake. I've gone back in, posted an edit above the original post saying, I made a mistake here. This is the mistake I made. And I'm sure nobody will ever see that. But the fact that I put it there is my due diligence, I should say. Uh, I don't want to continue the 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 bad misinformation. So if somebody does see it, they can not only see that I made a mistake, but also this information was wrong and here's why. And I would always post my sources. If I'm talking about a study, a medical study, or if I'm talking about a person who said something, I will post the link to the published study, or I will put a link to the full video, not just the part that I'm talking about, like the full video. Watch it all for yourself, that kind of thing. Which so please watch the video that's in the description as well, so that you can make up your own mind and listen to what Hank says and whether or not you agree. And he at the end, Hank said something about how I don't. I'm paraphrasing here. He said something about how he doesn't understand how Elon Musk can have such a lack of respect for the truth unless he has some other truth or desire something else that he believes in more than the actual truth. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. Plus, when you're a rich person who is successful doing all these crazy things that people say, oh, that will never work, you won't be successful, and then he ends up being successful and becoming the most wealthy person in the world, it's very difficult for that person, that kind of person, to look introspectively into their own thoughts and to what they believe in and say, maybe this isn't correct. Because up until now, his decisions, good or bad, wrong or right, have allowed him to be extremely successful. Not a little bit, extremely, the most successful. When you become that successful, you better believe that you're going to start thinking that everything you think and do and say is just gold. It's just, your words are gold flying through the air. And if anyone doesn't listen to your words, well, they are missing out on the success that you have created for yourself. Yeah, okay. I would disagree with that, obviously. I would disagree with the fact that just because you are successful doesn't mean it do, just because you are successful doesn't mean that you are right. You can be a horrible person and still be successful. You can do all the right things and still be successful, or do all the wrong things and still be successful. And there are some arguments that you can win and still lose. And there are some things that you can, no matter how hard you try, no matter how good you are, you cannot win. And there's other times where no matter what you mess up and no matter how you fail, you still succeed. It just, that's the way life is. That's the way life is. So when people get those successes over and over and over again, even when other people are saying that's not correct, that's not true, that's not real, this isn't going to work, and you end up being successful anyways. Yeah, obviously you're going to start thinking, well, these other people don't know what they're saying, and what I'm saying has been successful, so that's what needs to be real. In which case, just again, being successful doesn't mean you are fact. It just means that you were successful. And plenty of very wealthy people have lied to become successful. It doesn't mean that what they're saying is true. It just means that sometimes being honest and being truthful isn't successful. In fact, it's very rarely successful. And other people will ridicule you for that. Uh, Obviously, if you start saying the truth and other people are advocating for the not truth, then they're going to attack you and try to prove that your truth or the truth is not true. And they'll use any tactic, whereas the person who advocates for the truth will only use the truthful tactics. So the person who isn't going to be honest and straightforward has more tools at their disposal to convince other people than the person who is honest and won't use bad sources or bad techniques to get what they want. Yeah, so that's the crumb that was in my beard. And even though I can see that not being honest and not being true to truth is beneficial in most cases, I still think I would advocate for honesty and truth. That's my morality. And you can agree or disagree, and that doesn't make you wrong and it doesn't make you right. It just makes you you. Thank you. Bye-bye.